Hey there, travel junkies. You know that feeling, right? The thrill of a new city, the promise of adventure. Airbnb, baby. It was my go-to. Unique spots, local vibes felt like a steal. I was hooked. 41 Airbnbs in a year hooked. Passport stamps, funky apartments, the whole shebang. Cheaper than hotels, right? Home away from home, or so I thought. Little did I know, trouble was brewing. The honeymoon phase? Over. Turns out Airbnb and I, we needed a break. More like a messy, it's not you, it's me kind of split. See those hidden fees? They're sneaky little devils, cleaning fees that cost more than the actual stay? Please. I started packing my own feather duster just in case. And don't even get me started on the loyalty programs or lack thereof. Hotels? They roll out the red carpet for regulars. Airbnb, more like a welcome mat with a hidden tripwire. But hey, maybe I am just unlucky, right? Wrong. Turns out, my Airbnb horror stories, they're not so unique after all. Stay tuned, folks. This is just the tip of the iceberg. All right, let's talk money, honey. See, Airbnb, they lure you in with those pretty pictures, those local experiences, but then bam, the fees hit you harder than a rogue wave in a kayak. Service fees, cleaning fees. Listen, I'm all for a tidy room, but some of these charges were straight up criminal. Hotels, they often throw in breakfast. Airbnb, you're lucky if you find a half-empty coffee jar and a prayer. When budget-friendly starts to feel like a luxury, something's got to give. Let's talk loyalty, shall we? Hotels, they get it. You stay often, you get perks, points, upgrades, maybe even a fruit basket. But Airbnb, they're playing hard to get. No points, no special treatment, just that lingering feeling of, am I just a number to you? You cancel a few times? Life happens. Right? Well, Airbnb, they hold a grudge. They keep your service fees hostage like some kind of travel ransom. Look, I get it. Cancellations mess with hosts, but penalize the guest, the one who's now scrambling for a place to sleep. That's colder than a penguin's pedicure. Picture this. You've booked your dream Airbnb months in advance. You've got your itinerary planned down to the minute. You're practically smelling the croissants already. But wait, disaster strikes. A work emergency, a family crisis. Maybe your cat learned to play the tuba and needs a manager. Life happens. You gotta cancel. It's stressful, I know, but here's where Airbnb throws a curveball. The host, they might get penalized, fair enough, but you, the guest, the one who's now in travel void, you get nothing. No compensation, no shoulder to cry on, just a digital shrug and a better luck next time email. Look, I get it, rules are rules. But a little empathy goes a long way, Airbnb, especially when you're dealing with stressed out travelers who just want their money back. Okay, let's talk location, that holy grail of travel. Airbnb shows you a map, right? Seems straightforward, but here's the catch. Airbnb maps are like those abstract paintings, open to interpretation. That little dot, that's not your apartment. That's the general vicinity. Could be a block away, could be a hike through the Amazon rainforest, who knows? And speaking of surprises, let's talk about those charming European apartments. You know, the ones with character. Character usually translates to no elevator and stairs, narrower than a giraffe's catwalk. Trust me, after hauling luggage up 6 flights, character loses its charm pretty fast. And those photos? Don't believe everything you see. That spacious studio might be smaller than your suitcase. Check-in time. That magical moment when you finally get to see if your Airbnb matches the hype. or if it's haunted by the ghosts of disappointed travelers past. With hotels, it's easy peasy. Walk in, flash your ID, boom, you're in. Airbnb, they like to keep things interesting, like a scavenger hunt for your own accommodation. I've had hosts who insisted on meeting in person, handing over a key with the solemnity of a knight passing on Excalibur. Problem is, flights get delayed, traffic happens, and suddenly you're playing an awkward game of wait by the doorway with a stranger. And don't get me started on those lock boxes. They sound high-tech, right? Wrong. More like a test of your patience and fine motor skills after a long flight. Look, I'm all for a personal touch, but sometimes a simple, here's your key. Enjoy your stay is all a traveler needs. Let's talk amenities, folks, those little extras that make a stay sparkle. Hotels, they've got it down to a science. Fluffy towels, tiny soaps shaped like seashells. It's the little things. Airbnb, well, let's just say their idea of fully equipped and mine. We've had some philosophical differences. Like that gourmet kitchen with one blunt knife and a pan that's seen more action than Indiana Jones. And the Wi-Fi, don't believe the hype. High speed often means high anxiety as you wait for a website to load. Look, I can rough it. I'm a traveler, not a princess. But when basic necessities start to feel like luxuries, something's amiss. It's like they say you can't put a price on comfort unless you're Airbnb, apparently. So, after 41 Airbnbs, countless cleaning fees, and enough location-based confusion to last a lifetime, I did it. I made a break for it. I switched to hotels. And let me tell you, it's been glorious. No more surprise fees, no more awkward key exchanges, no more wondering if the Wi-Fi is powered by hamsters on a wheel. Hotels are like that reliable friend who's always got your back. They're consistent, they're predictable, and they always have toilet paper. Sure, hotels might seem a bit pricier up front, but factor in the hidden costs, the stress, the potential for disaster. Trust me, it's worth every penny. So if you're tired of the Airbnb game, if you're ready for a travel experience that's more relaxing vacation and less stress-induced breakdown, come join me on the other side. We've got fluffy towels, reliable Wi-Fi, and tiny soaps shaped like seashells. What are you waiting for? We all love a good before and after, right? But folks, nothing prepared me for the Airbnb photo shoot versus reality show. Talk about a bait and switch. That ocean view, more like ocean glimpse between two buildings and a satellite dish. And those queen-size beds, I swear some of them were designed for borrowers. But come on, Airbnb, a little honesty goes a long way. Don't promise me a palace and deliver a broom closet with a view. One of the great joys of travel? Exploring local markets, whipping up a home-cooked meal, feeling like a local, or at least a semi-competent tourist with a spatula. Airbnb promises fully equipped kitchens. Sounds idyllic, right? Wrong. It's a gamble, my friends, a culinary game of chance. Will you find a decent chef's knife? A cutting board that hasn't been used as a chopping block for firewood? More often than not, you're left with a motley crew of mismatched utensils, a single dull knife, and a pan. It looks like it survived a volcanic eruption. Look, I'm not expecting Michelin star standards here. But a few basic tools wouldn't hurt Airbnb unless you're secretly trying to boost the local takeout industry. In that case, well played. Air conditioning. That sweet, sweet relief from the elements, a traveler's best friend, especially in those extreme climates. Hotels get it, Airbnb, not so much. See, Airbnb listings, they love to boast about AC, but what they don't tell you is whether that AC is a gentle breeze or a hurricane force wind that could double as a wind tunnel for testing small aircraft. I've been held hostage by thermostats with minds of their own. One minute I'm in the Arctic Circle, the next I'm in a Finnish sauna, all without leaving my Airbnb. Look, I'm all for embracing the local climate, but when you start considering building an igloo out of ice cube trays or fanning yourself with a travel brochure, something's gotta give. Air conditioning shouldn't be a luxury Airbnb, it's a basic human right. Okay, maybe not a human right, but you get the point. We've all been there, right? That sinking feeling when you realize you've lost something. Keys, phone, your sanity after a long flight. It happens. Now hotels, they're pros at this. Lost and found is practically an art form. But Airbnb, let's just say they haven't quite mastered the art of reuniting travelers with their beloved belongings. I once left a beloved notebook in an Airbnb full of travel stories, bad poetry, the good stuff. Contacted the host, crickets. Contacted Airbnb. They were as helpful as a chocolate teapot in a heat wave. Look, I'm not blaming them for my forgetfulness, but a little effort, a little detective work wouldn't hurt, right? Unless Airbnb has a secret underground lair where they hoard lost travel treasure. Now that's a story for another time. We all crave a little human connection, right? A friendly voice, a listening ear. Someone to talk me off the ledge when the Wi-Fi goes down. Hotels get it. They've got staff, they've got smiles, they've got answers, or at least the pretense of answers. Airbnb customer service is like trying to find a unicorn riding a bicycle, uphill, in a snowstorm. You're more likely to have a philosophical conversation with a chatbot than reach a real, live human being. And when, by some miracle, you do, brace yourself for the most generic, scripted response this side of a telemarketing call. Look, I don't need a shoulder to cry on every time the toilet paper runs out, but a little empathy, a little, we've got your back energy wouldn't kill you, Airbnb. So, after countless adventures, both good and what was I thinking bad, I did it. I broke free from the Airbnb shackles. I embraced the world of hotels, and let me tell you folks, it's been a revelation. Gone, vanished, like a magician's rabbit. Except this rabbit left me with a fluffy bathrobe and a mint on my pillow. If you're ready for a travel experience that's more and less come join me on the hotel side. We've got room service, turn down service, and maybe even a chocolate on your pillow. Picture this. You've landed in paradise, palm trees swaying, turquoise waters beckoning. You've got your swimsuit, your sunscreen, your carefully curated playlist. You arrive at your Airbnb eager to unpack and unwind. But wait, what's that sound? Is that a jackhammer serenade in the sunrise? Oh no, it's the symphony of construction, and your Airbnb is the concert hall. Apparently, jackhammer o'clock starts at 7 a.m. sharp. When your dream vacation turns into a front row seat to the demolition derby, something's gotta give. We've all felt it, right? That gut feeling, that little voice whispering, maybe this isn't the place for you. Now with hotels, it's easy. Don't like the vibe? Switch rooms. Airbnb, it's trickier. You're playing house guest in a stranger's home. I once stayed in an Airbnb that felt like a waiting room in a dental office, but a little personality, a little lived-in warmth. Wouldn't hurt, right? Listen to your gut, my friends. There are plenty of other fish in the sea, or, apartments on the internet. So, there you have it. My Airbnb saga laid bare for the world to see. It was a wild ride, full of ups, downs, and enough cleaning fees to make a grown man weep. But like all good things, my love affair with Airbnb had to end. I found solace, consistency, and dare I say, luxury in the arms of hotels. Don't get me wrong, I'll cherish the memories, the quirky stays, the occasional moments of how did I end up here? Bewilderment. But for now, I'm embracing the comfort, the predictability, the sheer joy of knowing my towel won't be a hand-me-down from a medieval times reenactment. Hotels, my friends, are like that reliable friend who always picks up the phone, who never judges your questionable travel fashion choices, and who always has a spare toothbrush if you need one. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good complimentary breakfast buffet? So, is this a permanent breakup with Airbnb? Well, let's just say I'm taking a break, seeing other accommodations, exploring my options. Maybe one day when the cleaning fees have subsided, when the Wi-Fi is strong and the customer service is more human than chatbot, I'll dip my toes back into the Airbnb waters. But until then, I'm off to explore the world, one comfortable hotel room at a time. Who knows what adventures await? Maybe I'll even try a hostel. Just kidding, maybe. Until next time, my fellow travelers, keep exploring, keep laughing at the mishaps, and remember, the best travel stories are often the ones that don't go according to plan. Safe travels, and may your Wi-Fi be strong and your towels fluffy.